tried to unify. So Kibaki has left a legacy, a great legacy that has been implemented by Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes, the problems that were there during Kibaki are not the problems that Uhuru Kenyatta received or got through COVID. So many things, wars with Ukraine, fuel, everything going up. But he managed to steer us through.
President Kibaki and his legacy, as you allude to, one of the things, of course, that will be said even post now his death is how he came to power, and how when he came to power in 2002, you know, it was a massive election support, and a lot of people, I think, were so eager to get a new government after the Mwai government that he had a support across the country. In fact, when he was being sworn in, Uhuru Park was completely jam-packed with people, and I think at that time we were also you know, listed as one of the happiest, and not the happiest, sorry, the most hopeful people in the world. There was a lot of hope in this country. So the Kibaki government had promised, you know, to deal with corruption, had promised to improve the economy, had promised to deal with matters tribalism. How do you think they fared on this thing? And will history be kind to the man in as far as those things are concerned?
I think Kibaki was a person who was humble. Kibaki worked under very tough conditions. He never usurped power. He never stood, prohibited, stopped the government from ever working. And I want to be very frank that one of the aspects that I get from Kibaki's legacy is when he saw things were not going well anymore in his government, he resigned. And one of the things that we see here now, we see somebody who has no morality at all. As we speak, you are not working, you are not even greeting yourselves, you are not greeting each other at a function of this nature. Why do you still wait there? Kibaki did a humble thing, and we should speak the truth. At the time of this nature, of this type of life, we must speak the truth. That when you are not working properly with somebody, when you see their things are, what can I say?
Are not aligning with you.
You are not compatible. This good English. Shakespearean English, not compatible. If things are not compatible, you resign and go. Don't put the whole country at ransom because you think you are in the constitutional making. Yet you refuse even the same constitution which is protecting you. So Kibaki did a good thing under Moi. When he found that he could not tolerate any of the behaviors under Moi, he resigned. And we should not only be talking good things here and living bad manners that some people are exhibiting on national television. You can see.
I'm just also now on matters, corruption, you know, fighting corruption, matters to do with fighting the vice of tribalism. How do you think he fared?
Yes, Kibaki fought corruption. He did. In fact, it was during Kibaki's time that ordinary citizens of Kenya arrested people. You remember? And I believe you are one of those who arrested people. You are one of those who must have arrested people.
Yeah.
A man who is trying to bribe a policeman, a man arrested.
Yes, there was a lot of, in the initial stages there was a lot of hope. But you also remember that at that time, you know, bodies like Transparency International were here. John Githongo became the ethics and anti-corruption, more to speak, chief. Then there was what happened with John Githongo. He had to go into exile. Then, of course, there were some issues to do even with maybe one or two scandals. How do you think, in the fullness of time, how will all that be looked at?
Kibaki fought corruption, and there were some few rotten tomatoes in the government who were brought on trial. In fact, some of the ministers resigned. Have you seen any minister in this government who has resigned apart from Waiguru, who resigned after he had actually taken the money? She resigned and went back to use the same money, which they stole at midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. But Kibaki had a legacy. He said, you have taken the money. The Minister of Finance, Marura, somebody, the Minister of State for Internal Security, the Minister of Constitutional Affairs, Senator, the Governor of Meru, all these people resigned and left the government. And the people who were responsible were brought to book. They are not, it's not like now. People have eaten and they are still there. We had the cartel, Mr. Cartel, the Minister of Energy, still eating and lamenting of national television that his team of 11 people of Zambia in KPLC have been done damage. So when you have characters of that nature, a country cannot move. But Kibaki, there are two things that I want to tell you and I teach any younger generation. That's why some of us here today sit comfortably where we are, not because we stole. We sit comfortably where you are. You can see my little office in Mombasa where I am. You see, I can sit comfortably because there are certain things. I have conscience, character, conscience, and patriotism to say, Pan-Africanism to say, I have had enough. When things are not very good, no, wait. When things are not very good, quit. Don't stick there to punish the whole country. Look at, no, let's be honest. Look at that ceremony today. The president comes out in a car, does not greet anybody. Because you don't know. The man, you don't know. The man who is insulting you is here. Then the president passed. So you say you are still a deputy president. And the president leaves. He doesn't want to have contact with you. If I were Ruto, this would be the mark. Because exactly what is going to happen at the burial in Othaya might be more dramatic than this. You know?
Yeah, but we are hoping, Daktari, that because we are burying somebody who was a president, we'll be able to put those things aside. Because
yeah, we have people are put aside, but you still continue to insult the president even up to late last night. How do you put it aside?
You know, you put it aside because now we are in a state funeral and we focus on what is.
Uhuru is not, at the moment, does not insult anybody. But the people on this other side still have jobs. Yes.
They also announced that they have stopped their campaigns. So we are expecting a moment of peace and quiet, a moment of respect for the third president, you know, so that maybe after Saturday, people can now go back to, you know, their usual political theatrics. But I don't think anyone is expecting.
Why do you on the stop? Why do you on the stop when somebody has died? You should stop and behave nicely.
We should, but you know, we should. But ideally, you know, we know ourselves. We're in a political season. We are campaigning.
My dear brother,
it's unlikely to stop. But
my dear brother,
we are thinking because we have a funeral, probably that's what would happen in a sensible country. People would say, okay, fine, which I think is already happening. Let us cool down our guns and cool down. That is figuratively speaking, and you know, call a ceasefire politically, and let us you know, send the.
We have ceased the fire, and you can see I am not even on this television now. I am not even using any fire. If it was any other day, if it was another day, my fire on Ruto
I know.
would be
Even you are called as this fire. Yeah.
no. Honestly, me and the deputy president, I don't get it as a, I hate his behavior. Even the day, that's the behavior I hate. Even me, look at the way things have happened on me. So things, I've lost my family, I've lost my marriage. You see, so many things I have lost. Even people who even killed them come and even laugh at you. But you know, you see them even come and the same people come and put stories on you. Enjoy. But you see, I guess as I used to tell people when I was younger that the way we struggle against Idi Amin, one day Idi Amin might not be there. But the country, Uganda, will move on.
Yeah.
I want somebody with that heart. But people don't have a heart. There are people here whom I should not be talking to. There are people, but I talk to them. They insult me. You know, that is the type of heart you should have.
Let me ask you, Daktari, yeah?
Yes.
In terms of, you know, it is difficult to talk about the presidency of Kibaki without looking at 2007 and what happened and how we ended up, you know, where we ended up. What would you say about that in hindsight now, looking back?
About Kibaki, 2007, 2008, there was chaos. There was chaos. And that's why I wrote this article today. I don't know him today. Started writing it for about 45 minutes. Does Africa really need elections? You are going back to 2007, 2008. Does Africa need elections? If elections are going to kill a country, do you need them? Do you need them? I have read the books of Plato. Yes,
how do you expect us to get leaders?
Our leaders. Does China choose? Have you seen an MP, a Chinese MP on the streets of Africa? Doesn't China live? Doesn't China lend you money? Answer me. Doesn't China lend you money?
Cultures are different. You see their culture.
Yes, but
may allow them to be like that, and they could be very happy and comfortable.
Can I ask you, where is this culture that told you should have elections in Africa?
It's already so ingrained in us that you can't withdraw it by just saying, don't have elections. No, we are now used to it, Daktari.
You simply followed the Mzungu. You simply followed the British and said, a British democracy is 1,900 years. When they came here, their democracy was 1,800 years or 700 years. 60 years passed. You followed them. They are destabilizing their economy. They are destabilizing their social system. They are destabilizing their governance. Have you stabilized your governance? Why do you need elections? Why do you go to election to arrange to beat people? Why? Why do you go to election to arrange to dismantle the goods that you have, the same things that you have created? Why? Why?
Do you think, given now that happened, because the other thing is, when people talk about the legacy of President Kibaki, one of the things we have right now is the discussions about coalitions. Huh? You know, you will remember that in 2002 there was that coalition with you know, like-minded individuals, Charity Ngilu, Raila Odinga, Kijana Wamalo at that time, and there was the infamous MOU that, you know, did not go very well. And then after that, of course, there was the government of national unity that came as a result of the 2007 and 2008 fiasco. And there was also a problem there in terms of, you know, what the Prime Minister was doing versus what the Vice President was doing. And then now, following that, we had the 2013 election. Raila, of course, with Kalonzo in CORD, and, you know, Uhuru with Ruto in Jubilee. Alafu we have come to 2017 and here we are. Now, one of the things that is discussed in this particular elections is people talk about they call it the politics of deceit, where we agree that we are going to run a government together, or we are going to get into a partnership of some sort, and then once that happens, we have problems. You will remember even Raila Odinga's party was accused by Kalonzo Musyoka and Mudavadi that they did not share the spoils. Do you think, and I'm asking you this because I'm setting the stage by asking you, do you think because this started way back in 2002 is when we first saw agreements like this begin to shape up? Do you think if they had gotten that agreement right, it would have set the stage for maybe some of these agreements also going right? Because we don't have a history where a partnership has, actually worked to the point where people are saying, you know what, this partnership was not reneged on. Do you feel like that?
Yes, and it all boils back to one center point. And that center point should be character and conscience. Why agreements collapse in Africa is because of character, lack of conscience. People don't have the conscience. That's the truth. People don't have the conscience to say, I am not wanted here, I've resigned, I've gone home. People don't have the conscience to say, we made an agreement, let's sit. We don't have good character in Africa at all. So we still have that situation where Africans behave. That's why I'm telling you, why do you talk about democracy? Why do you talk about elections when you really don't know what elections are? What are elections? You tell me what are elections in Africa?
Of the way we handle things to be able to do proper elections. That we cannot just do proper elections, the only alternative is no elections.
No, I'm saying Africa time. I wrote this article. I want you to read it and see my English, my Shakespearean English. I want you to read it and see what I wrote. I said, time has come for Africa. Does Africa need elections? When we are preparing it, 42 billion, 60 billion, 100 billion in an election where you are not going to concede, you are not going to be needed. Can't we find other ways of selecting our leaders? We used to have our ways of selecting leaders, good leaders in a clan. I have given an example of China 40 years ago. I'm not a communist. I'm giving you views that 40 years ago, China had one small rice scheme in Uganda. But China went back and did a renaissance. It is a evaluation, fatigue evaluation. Where are we going from here? What do we want from here? Time has come for Africa. Because of bad blood, of people not honoring agreements, politics of deceit, politics of sticking on a position when you are earning a salary, when you are not even working, politics of witch hunt, politics of intrigue, politics of breaking the 48 laws of power is in Africa. So why don't we think again? Look at all across African continent. Everybody is fighting the other. There is a shadow of conflict everywhere. Zimbabwe, Chamisa wants the leadership of Mnangagwa. Uganda, Bob Wine wants the leadership of Museveni. Like now, South Sudan, Riek Machar is fighting Salva Kiir. Tigray, Dr. Abiy is being fought by Tigrayan because of bad governance. Somalia, Farimajo is fighting Robi. Go to everywhere. Tanzania, there was everywhere opposition. Chadema, we are saying we are done. We want this. We want that. Is it the only method? Nigeria, look, Biafrans are being killed in huge numbers. A population of 200 million people, 100 million people have nothing to say about their country. Go. Burkina Faso, Mali, they are falling to pieces because of two words, election and corruption. Am I wrong? Every military coup that takes place, DRC Congo, look at the mess. From 1962, election and election and corruption has killed the country.
Maybe we can try and do better.
Time has come for Africa. Yes, time has come for Africa to do a renaissance. African countries to do a renaissance. Time to begin. Even Europe did a renaissance. Let's move. Let's reinvent ourselves. Are we the right people? Look at Ruto. His gloomy, his mouth was as tall as this. Because Uhuru was delaying too much inside there. He didn't sound like a man who was worth to be at a funeral of an head of state.
And we are out of time. But
we are out of time, but we have to tell the truth.
We didn't say anything.
My dear, until Africa, my dear brother, has got one, until Africa has got conscience, character. If you don't have character, is your mother inborn character? My mother told me never to insult people. My mother told me to greet elders in a good way. My mother told me when you see an elder, a pregnant woman going to go into a car, you let her go first. My mother told me when you are eating, you don't talk so that the food goes to everybody on the. My mother told me, fetch wood, go and dig the garden. My mother and my father, they did that. That's character in me. My father told me he wants me to study political science. Wherever he is now in the grave where they buried him, because I never buried him. I don't know where he is, how he was buried. He's happy that I'm doing political science and doing work for Africa. Therefore, I am now telling you character and conscience. It is your conscience that if you are a deputy, let the president respect the man who made you the deputy and the people who gave you the mandate. Now you are respecting the people who gave you the mandate and you are not respecting your boss. You see, that's why we have a scenario. If this is happening at a parliament like that.
Yeah, we've got to end it there. What would you say as your final words about the legacy of Kibaki, President Kibaki?
President Kibaki's legacy was a legacy of moving forward. Forward, never backwards. Never back, reverse. Kibaki had a forward movement all the way from Makerere University. He never reversed. He never witch hunted. He never went outside to do things. He had a conscience and he had a character. When Moi did not like him, he did not frustrate Moi. When he took over power, he did not arrest Moi. He did not. People told him to arrest Moi. Did you know that? I was here. And the people were saying, arrest Moi. He said, no. We needed to shake hands and move on. It's what Uhuru Kenyatta has done. That is the same vision of Uhuru Kenyatta. Don't arrest opposition leaders. But when you look at Kass and his group, yes, desperados, some of the desperados in Tanga, they want to arrest everybody. They are telling you on social media that when they take over power, they will arrest you, they will deport you, they will kill you. So what type of people are these? So he left a legacy of ever moving forward. He was handed over a baton. Who wants to hand over a baton to somebody who will move forward with Kibaki's legacy? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. David Matsanga there as we speak about the tribute to the late third President of the Republic of Kenya, President Mwai Kibaki. We'll of course keep it Kass here. We will be bringing those proceedings continuing even as we go on throughout the day, throughout tomorrow, on Thursday and Friday, as well as the final burial date on Saturday. For us, from here at 59 Minutes, we just say good morning, God bless you, have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for Ilosu coming up.